Hello there, everybody. I'm watching PlayBack's viewpoint on this because you guys already seen mine yesterday. True, CoffeeZilla may have done whatever one bad thing, which was leak the phone calls or whatnot, but you didn't respond for 12 months and only responded after somebody called you out, after somebody big enough called you out. So let's see.
Logan Paul, scammer, allegations.
Let's get right into it. Real shit though, he dropped his cryptos in response. He came out with this new coin where it's like you get an egg and then you can hatch the egg and it's a big NFT. He was really excited about this. This was off the back of his 99 Originals project, which was actually really dope. Logan Paul building some momentum, repairing his reputation after the whole Forest situation from a few years back, and then this happens. CoffeeZilla drops a 3-part series, basically documenting a whole bunch of details about how he was alleging that the CryptoZoo thing was a scam because one, it didn't work, and then he was basically
insinuating
that it was really shady,
that it was shady,
and borderline fraudulent.
No, this is scam. He
called it a scam.
CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber who does a lot of investigation on a lot of scams, especially in the financial sector. He made a 3-part documentary insinuating that Logan Paul, if not directly, indirectly, was preparing to scam his audience with this project that he had.
Actually, he was, because he was planning to scam people, but he didn't because it didn't work out that way. Like, even before everything, there was 4 people who were supposed to buy the thing quietly, right? And then resell it, right? So then they make more money, which was a silent release. He was planning to scam people. He never answered that part.
Sent out there in the 3-part documentary, there's a lot of allegations that was set in stone. And so Logan finally made a response to that, and just briefly hit on a couple of notes. So the first thing I noticed that Logan Paul really didn't apologize for really anything.
And lastly, CoffeeZilla, I now know your motives with this. Clout and money, good for you, but also you're slimy as so I'm not going to come on any of your podcasts. If you want to come on Impulsive and talk about this, that's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Some would argue it's probably the worst response imaginable. Now, some people would also argue
that it can be worse.
It can be worse?
You haven't seen worse apologies on YouTube?
Yeah, because EDP is a
yeah, I've seen some worse apologies. So
it could be worse. The dancing one by that girl.
It was a bad, and the reason why it was bad is because it came across as if like he was not apologizing. Some of the reason why he said he wasn't apologizing is because of the people in which CoffeeZilla was interviewing within the 3-part documentary. In this 3-part documentary, CoffeeZilla was interviewing people who were a part of the project on the back end.
Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zakarey. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Who we'll be calling Z here.
I guess among many things, it doesn't surprise me that he lied about having 30 engineers and a $50,000 a week burn rate.
On my end, I have 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3 engineers. Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits? Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe.
Earn your degree faster at Purdue University Global. With over 175 online.
Believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zakarey? I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me.
So if you didn't watch the whole 3-part series, there was a few allegations that were made. So there was a whole bunch of text exchanges that were shown, basically showing that off the jump, the intention was to make money. But Logan Paul says the intention was to he had this vision and he really wanted to see it through. But the text are showing that money was a big priority. In all honesty, Logan could have just kept it a buck and said, well, this is a project. I'm investing millions of dollars into this. Or
that's true. Nobody would have blamed him.
Make a kickback.
Nobody will blame him if he says that. I'm like, okay, he's trying to make a profit off of something he's making. Who doesn't want to make money off of something they're making that costs them money? Like, if I'm making something that costs me money, I would hope I would make money off of it, right? I'm not going to get mad or blame Logan about that. I'll be like, okay, cool. He's trying to make money off something he's making.
back on.
I
That's
don't
cool.
see
And
something
everyone
wrong with
would've
that.
said, well, that's understandable. But Logan is pretending as though
But he keeps
money was not a
ignoring
motive
that.
at all.
He keeps
even though,
ignoring it, too.
even though
That's
the
the
text
problem.
exchange that CoffeeZilla showed shows that money was most definitely a priority, even if Logan's saying it wasn't. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's stages to the NFT stuff, and it's so ripe with fucking corruption that like there's lots of bad actors in this space.
Yes.
But what Logan and them was trying to do was undoubtedly shady. They were trying to pre-sell some shit that didn't even work yet, basically off the promise that Logan Paul is gonna deliver because his last project did well. The only thing is they didn't want to deal with all the SEC guidelines, violations, investigations, and things of that nature. So they went through like 16 different loopholes to be able to pre-sell this thing. And every bit of the exchange, when you go through the CoffeeZilla 3-part documentary, shows that they were most definitely interested in not only maintaining full control, but making money. But the thing is they immediately lost control because the advisor they had on board they trusted, he sold, and the lead developer not only sold, but that nigga ran off with the code because he said that Logan wasn't paying him. So it's
now let's pause there for a second. I want to stop and acknowledge something. Because also Logan, this is after we actually making this right after he dropped the impulsive.
I didn't
so he gave
see
us a
this.
little bit more details. And to be fair to Logan, is there a possibility that he bit off more than he could chew?
Yes,
Probably.
I'm saying it as a fat man. So yes, there's a possibility that he bit off way more than he could chew, and he was out there making very bold claims of a project that he probably was not going to be able to fulfill because he wasn't that familiar with tech. He also acknowledged that in the impulsive podcast as well. So to be fair to Logan, I didn't
see the podcast.
There's a possibility that he just was in over his head. However, you still have to take some form of accountability in that because you're making very broad and bold statements to a bunch of people who are committing hundreds upon thousands, if not more money to your project, and you're making these claims without thoroughly understanding everything that is involved with it. So you start to take accountability in those regards, but there's a possibility it was just more than he could chew. So that to be fair to Logan, there's that. The text messages, like you said, are damning. And for whatever reason, in the impulsive podcast,
he doesn't
as well
mention
as in the original 5-6 minute video that he responded with, he just refuses to. He doesn't even say anything about that. And I agree with you. He could easily just say, hey, those text messages seem bad, but at the end of the day, I'm investing into a project that I do believe I deserve some form of income or kickback or some type of return on my investment. And this is probably the best way to do it without sitting here and pulling mad money out all at once. So he could have said that, but he keeps ignoring it, so it makes him look really bad.
But the most important thing out of all of this is really the people that lost money. But when it comes to the drama here, is that Logan and his manager did not sell. Now, granted, them deciding to sell, making $5 million, this, that, the third, is not worth tarnishing Logan's entire reputation. I'm sure he could just fucking wake up, take a deal, and make $5 million. So I believe him when he says he had a vision for some shit he wanted to see out, and I'm sure that vision came with $100 million, right?
Yes.
But my takeaway after seeing all of this, bro, that impulsive episode, Logan's response, the CoffeeZilla series, and whatever fuck else comes out in the future, who knows? But from what we know right now is that Logan is getting a whole lot of flack when he seems to be getting fucked over as well. Now look, Logan has a very historic run of just negative press. And so it's very easy to fucking elbow hang from the free throw line, dunk on this nigga, especially when you look at the text message like, here Logan goes again, scamming niggas once again. Every time my brain kept thinking like, but the niggas pre-order video games. And nobody has a problem with that, but like there's seed round, series A, B, C's, and the businesses that we all use, and nobody says anything about those. So like people participate in lots of businesses that sell you something before you even get a chance to experience it. Yeah. And Logan's saying that the game is, whatever the fuck he's making is still in development. You could run around and say all Logan's doing is PR, the reason he didn't sell was PR, all this is PR, but in all reality, the nigga did not sell. He did not make bread off this fucking project.
That is true. That's why I gave him like credit. But also, he went silent for 12 months. Like, you could just, it took somebody else, like, what Agent saying is correct, but it took somebody almost as big, an investigator as big, that looked into this and brought it to light to make Logan talk about it 12 months later. Like, even if he was fucked over, he could have just said that. Even if he did want to make money off of it, he could have just said that. Even if it was, he's like, look, this is a big project that I really wanted to put out there that not only you guys could make money, that I could also make money off of. And people would be like, okay, so he wants to make money off of it, so he's going to put in a lot of money. We know what he's looking for and all that. But then he went quiet, and people were left wondering. I didn't know that people were wondering. That's how I found that video. CoffeeZilla did.
Got fucked by the developer, that's objectively true. He got fucked by his advisor, that's objectively true. The only thing Logan can get slandered for here is he gassed up a project that doesn't have no fucking legs yet. The shit does not work, he does not have the code, and we don't know what the fuck the roadmap looks like because those all these fucking legal. So
yeah, that's another thing.
So now he can't speak on shit because of all these legal reasons.
So let's go back.
But the crypto zoo niggas want to know what the fuck is going on with the project.
So what ended up happening is that the reason why Logan went, I don't want to say ghost, but the reason why he went mute on the whole subject matter is because once a lot of more things were being revealed to him behind the scenes, or at least this is what he's claiming, legally he could not make any statements.
Oh, I thought he said the legal cases was for CoffeeZilla, so he couldn't talk more about that. I didn't know it was. That's why he went silent. But even if that's the case, he could have been like, he could have tweeted out real quick, or he could have put in that Zootopia or whatever it's called, Zootoken Discord, because I know they got a Discord for it. That Crypto Zoo is gonna have to be pushed back a little bit because of legal action. So please don't worry. And then at the end of that, he still said 2023, 2024. And then he could just put coming to you 2023, 2024. And nobody would be mad.
Publicly because they were trying to deal with things on the back end.
As you can imagine, I was not cleared from legal to discuss much of this, including the legal process being undertaken and the criminal investigations going on during the fallout, but I do appreciate you calling out that rats under my nose stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back.
So what it seems as if like, hey, CoffeeZilla is hitting this 3-part series and Logan hadn't said anything, so it looks even worse, but there is a very realistic possibility that he was already dealing with this behind the scenes and legally he couldn't say.
Mayday. This is an emergency.
I don't know how the law works. What the? This is. Does it make, like, when you do that? Does it make you not talk about the whole thing? Like, you can't even mention it's in our law, and it's in a.
Anything because of all the bad actors and then going through the legal system through that. So that's also fair. The thing that I want to just hone in also to Logan, because this part was also, Logan just keeps like hammering this down. You never try to talk to me. You never.
I hate when people say
shit. And I personally do not believe that CoffeeZilla's only attempt to talk to Logan was on December 24th, Christmas Eve, the way that Logan is trying to make it seem like. He just sat there and said, well, he claimed that he tried to get to his manager twice. And then Logan saying, well, you didn't try to directly hit to me. However, CoffeeZilla on Twitter literally showed receipts of him trying to get in contact to Logan. So to say, and I'm not saying that Logan ignored him because he didn't say that he read or anything like that. But the reality is, where you're Logan Paul, bro, it may be difficult to get in contact with you. So if I tried through DMs, the next best way I would assume, the most professional way, is to get you through your manager, and he didn't respond. So again, to sit there and to say that I didn't attempt to, or to make it seem as if like I wasn't trying to get in contact with you, that seems like something you need to take up with your manager. I could have defended myself. You didn't give me the opportunity to do so, but to make it seem like he never attempted to try to directly contact you, I think is a bit, especially if he keeps sitting there saying, ooh, CoffeeZilla, he's real good at just manipulating the info. Like, come on, bro. Like, to act like he never attempted to try to get in contact with you is crazy. And because of that, I actually do believe Logan would have been in a much better situation if he talked to Coffee. Now they're going back and forth with this. Well, I send you this invite, then you send me this invite. No, I'm not gonna come over there. How about we do a live stream? And everybody just having a dick, who dick is bigger contest right now.
I think Logan fucked up here, and Coffee's familiar with criticizing people who fuck up a lot, and Logan's one of those targets because Logan does have fuck up. And so I think the mistake Coffee made in all this is calling it a scam. It's not a scam yet, because if the thing is still in development, then we don't know. If this shit never comes out and a whole bunch of people sank thousands of dollars into this thing and they got rug pulled by the lead developer and the advisor because they all decided to sell as soon as they could, then yeah, that's borderline, if not straight up scam. As it stands right now, unless Logan is lying to us about the roadmap or how much he's committed to this crypto zoo situation, it is not a scam yet. It is just in development. And so you could say what you want, you could say what what
I
you
think
want,
from
but
the lead development in was it the other two? I think they definitely scammed.
they rug pulled.
They definitely
but
scammed.
Logan and them was the
manager.
ones holding the fucking thing. So they got fucked over by the lead developer. Lead developer is saying he wasn't paid, but the lead developer is also a fucking criminal. So I don't know what to think about that nigga.
Yeah.
So Logan, you can't hire a whole bunch of criminals, not do background checks to a project you care about, and you know that
and
because
they put millions of dollars into it as well. Like, come on.
In your Impulsive episode, you said that your last project, the 99 Originals, did so well because the developers behind it did a fantastic job. Yeah. So you know,
why not just use those same developers?
Project you're passionate about, good things happen. So you being lackadaisical,
I don't know if that's a crypto
who
project.
The fuck you picking up for this project, and then getting fucked over and pretending like you had no idea. Like, how did CoffeeZilla find out? Well, he did research, and so why does CoffeeZilla give more fuck about your project than you do? You can call him a clout chaser and shit all you want, but that nigga Logan admitted in the Impulsive episode that he discovered shit about his own fucking project
that he didn't even know
CoffeeZilla.
about.
That's crazy.
So you need to be doing more research off the ripper. So if you're not gonna take responsibility for all of it, you at least had to take responsibility for the fact that you didn't vet the people that was part of this project as well as you should have. You probably got really excited when niggas was throwing around numbers like in that CoffeeZilla episode through the text. They were like 60 million, 100 million, this, that, third. Yeah. And he's thinking like, yo, fuck a few million. This project's getting, I'm passionate about it and about to make fucking a lot of M's.
Logan just needs to be held accountable to the extent of hiring them and making sure he comes through with his promise.
Hiring them, coming across with a promise, and also being quiet. Because he could just, even if it was a legal case, he could have just said, legal issues are happening with the cryptos right now. I got to keep quiet. And people would have been like, okay, at least we know what's going on, right? Like, the biggest thing you got to do is keep people informed of what's going on. Because you can't just leave people up in the dark. That's the only thing, that's the three things I'll say that he fucked up on. Everything else about hiring people could have kind of been his fault, but I'll say that's his team's fault for not checking that more out. But he hired his team, so
that's really it. Until then, we can't really know, which is the reason why we kind of held off on this, because after I agree, after I watched CoffeeZilla stuff, I was like, Logan didn't really sell yet. There's a possibility he will, who knows, but he is not sold yet. And I agree, Logan makes way too much money for me to believe that he's willing to just throw everything away for like a couple of million. Yeah. That may sound a lot to y'all. It sound a lot to me too. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. It sound like a lot. But to Logan, he's not about to sit here and jeopardize everything for a few M's.
He won't.
He's not going to do that.
100%.
But yo, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know a lot of people want us to talk about this. We want to hold off to hear Logan's side. Logan's response was still pretty bad.
Logan didn't add anything.
It didn't really add anything.
It just proved that he doesn't know how to take accountability.
That's all it did. And also him still just finger pointing, which to a degree is fine. It's fine. But at the end of the day, you have to realize you hired them. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, there's some things that Logan should be held accountable for, but also I believe that because you all are not clear and know the people who actually pulled, y'all are just going to continue to pile on Logan. And some of it's unfair, but also, I mean, he is the face of this project. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.
But yeah, that's basically it. I agree with what they said.
When I need...
All right.
Logan, Paul.
Let's see. It's funny how he blames his team for hiring criminals when he's the one who's smart enough to hire and incompetent workers, to be honest. That's what I would say. Like, his team may have hired criminals, so that might not be his fault, but then again, he hired his team, and they're his team for a reason, right? As soon as YouTubers say, I'll meet you in court, you know they did what they are being accused of, and no lawsuit will follow. This is facts, really. His offenses are off rip. The easy way to fix this would be to offer refunds to people that want their money back and give actual updates. It's crazy to say he was so passionate about this project but forgot about it to the point an outsider was giving him better updates than his own management. And you don't question coffee integrity when you're hired the man. But exactly, there's no way he's refunding anybody. I don't think he's gonna refund. I think he will make the project because he kind of has to, right? He kind of has to get a good team behind him, and then or a good coding team or whatever behind him, and make the project. Because if he doesn't, it's gonna look bad for him. He didn't get a chance to sell. The scammers were scamming him and sold early. Just because he didn't sell doesn't mean he wouldn't have given. He had the chance. That's also true. But see, that's more a matter of whether you believe he's trustworthy rather than an objective fact. It may be the case but that comes from a very clear view that you don't think he's a good guy with relevance and doing. I didn't say anything about not liking him. If anything, I was enjoying his redemption arc, but those tweets, those texts speak for themselves, and the fact that he won't acknowledge them shows the amount of weight they hold. He was probably planning on quiet selling them or whatever, but what he did say was true. If bro had a chance, he probably would have, but he didn't have a chance, so he couldn't. So, because they were planning on doing that anyways. So yeah, like, subscribe, see you guys later. Hope you have a good day or night, and let me know what you guys think about it. And bye.